There is a phrase buried in this Brobbey story that changes how you read the whole thing. He has been offered to Juventus. Not scouted, not chased. Offered. That word points less at a club chasing a striker and more at a player's camp testing the market after a good World Cup. Tutamakata Web report that while Brian Brobbey has been shortlisted by several clubs on the back of his tournament performances, he has also been offered to Juventus, who see him as a possible alternative to the Frenchman they are primarily chasing. The Italian outlet floats a figure of between 35 and 40 million euros as the number that could start a conversation, and frames Brobbey as a fallback option should their first choice target prove unattainable. Two details undercut the idea that this is a serious, imminent threat. The first is that Brobbey is positioned as an alternative, not a priority. A club with a clear top target rarely commits real money to the backup while the main pursuit is still live. The second is that offered word. Being presented to a club is how a representative gauges interest and applies gentle leverage. And the report itself reads this as Brobbey's entourage assessing options and trying to take advantage of the post-tournament moment. That is a very different situation from Juventus actively driving a deal. The valuation is where the reporting becomes genuinely questionable, and it is worth being clear about why. A fee of 35 to 40 million euros treats Brobbey purely as a goalscorer, and that undersells what he actually gives Sunderland. His contribution last season extended well beyond the 7 league goals, into the pressing structure and the shape of the front line, which is precisely the sort of value a raw fee estimate misses. On that basis, he could cost more than the figure quoted, which would make him more expensive than the very player Juventus are prioritising. And that rather defeats the logic of signing him as the cheaper alternative. For Sunderland, the squad stakes are the same as they have been throughout this saga. Brobbey is the forward the attack is built around, contracted long-term. With no financial pressure forcing a sale in the summer, the club steps into European football. Losing the striker who anchors the press, mid-build, to become a Serie A side's second-choice fallback would be a poor piece of business at almost any price, let alone one pitched below his real worth. Sunderland's own stance on this specific approach is unknown, the report concedes, which is itself telling. When a club is genuinely engaged in a negotiation, their position tends to surface. Silence here suggests there is not yet anything concrete to respond to, so this reads as a market manoeuvre rather than a live bid, a striker's people keeping his name warm while a bigger club decides on someone else first. The number that would actually test Sunderland has not been tabled, and the one floated would make Brobbey a strange kind of bargain, the expensive alternative to the player Juventus actually want.